Liz, welcome to my little urban homestead. That is the pumpkin wine that was started last month. It's had about a month sitting in the demijohn. As you can see here, all this sediment, which is called lees, which the yeast throw off, and also a little bit of pumpkin, they are there. So it needs its first racking. It's had about a month, so we'll rack it now, and that'll help it no end getting it off all that. I've sterilised things up, so I'm going to rack it now, which is basically taking it from one demijohn, putting it into a clean sterilised demijohn via the siphon hose, and I'll show you that in a minute. I store my demijohns when the wine is fermenting out on top of my fridge freezer here in the kitchen. One, because it's warm, and two, because when it comes to racking I can put the clean empty jar on the side and gravity takes it down. I'll show you what I mean, because you take it from one jar to the other. So that's out. Just put that inside. You obviously have to use suction for this, and now it's transferring from one demijohn to the other. So I'm just going to let some of it go into this so I can have a little taste of it. It tasted dry. And yes, it is dry. So, same as last time when I actually put it into the demijohn, I will be putting some sugar into it. Exactly the same as I did before. So if you need to see me adding the sugar, I've got one here for another wine that's, the sugar is now dissolved, so when it's cool it can go in. It depends on how sweet or how dry it is, how much sugar you put in. This is very dry again, so I'm going to put a fair bit in, but it's its second helping of sugar, so I don't want to put too much because the yeast has possibly been used up, can't hold any more alcohol, which will just, then the sugar will make it sweet. So I just tilt it slightly so I can get the last bits out. That's it. Let me show you this. All that gunk. There's some bits of shredded pumpkin in there as well, but all that gunk. So the wine actually does look fairly clear now, clearer than it was sitting on this. But as I say, it's very, very dry, so I'm going to add some more sugar to it. So this is sugar syrup. It's about a cup of water that I've dissolved in about, I should say about quarter to half a cup of sugar. I've dissolved it in here because when I tasted it, it was very dry again. So just tip it in because this water is cool now. So put the tap back on and put it up, and if the yeast can take any more of the alcohol, it'll ferment it. If not, it's just going to be a sweet wine because it was too dry how it was. So now we'll leave it until it's either completely clear or there's a big sediment on it like there was earlier, or until a couple of months have gone by, and then we'll see about bottling it. So now let's go on to making this month's wine. And I'm not sure about that at the moment. Hello, this month's wine. You saw me the other week. Well, yeah, when this comes out, it will be the other week. But I went berry picking in my freezer and pulled out a load of raspberries. Now, when you freeze fruit, it goes quite mushy, which is alright if you're making jam out of it or anything, and it's perfectly fine for wine. So what I'm going to do is just open all these bags up and put the raspberries in. Now I remember it was 200 grams in each bag, so that's 2, 3, that makes 600. Oh, lovely smell of raspberry. Just over a kilo, 1 kilo, 200 grams of raspberries. Raspberries is one fruit that has got pectin in it, which helps a jam to set. We don't want the wine to go like that, and so we need to use pectolase. 1 teaspoon, for this one I've got, it's 1 teaspoon for every 1.8 kilos. So I'm going to be fine because that's 1.2 kilos in there. So I'm going to put a teaspoon in. I've got some sugar water here, which is water with about 2 pounds of sugar. Today I've made some red currant jelly, and these are what's left, so that's going in as well. And there's 2 litres of water and a bag of sugar, just over 2 pounds of sugar. Another litre of cold water, and this is cold water as well. So now we have got a total of 4 litres of water, and it's no longer hot, so it's not going to burn any of the berries or anything like that. And also I can add the yeast in. So you put the sugar water in. Don't think we need an elastic band. That was around the muslin that was holding the red currants. And they've actually solidified, been hanging overnight. Lovely smell of raspberries though. Just the smell of it makes you think of summer and warm weather and oh nice. but there's that. You don't have to add the nutrients. Sugar will do that, but it just helps give it a bit of a kickstart, I think. And yeast. A teaspoon of that. Give it syrup. As with the pumpkin wine, we will stir it once or twice a day for the next week or two, and then I'll put it in a demijohn. So raspberry wine is the March wine. So thank you.